The great divide has begun. Left versus right, centralized banking system versus decentralized banking system. Now, the question is, which side will you end up on? Or will you take the middle ground and really look at a 30,000-foot overview and understand at a deep level what is actually happening here? This is probably the most important video I will ever do. I want you to think about at a very, very deep level and use discernment on what I'm saying. Divide and conquer. I'm going to show you how Christine Lagarde is saying we're bringing the digital euro in. They're wanting to bring in a central bank digital currency. On the America side, Trump is working to dismantle the central bank, dismantle the Federal Reserve, bring it underneath the government, which is not federal nor is a reserve. And since 1913, they stopped tariffing other countries and taxed us and started controlling our interest rates. But they didn't get us through taxation, they got us through inflation. And if you, as an American, can't beat inflation every year and they tell you it's 2%, but you guys realize, comment down below, you realize it's more than 2%, right? So you're putting your money in your 401k, your financial advisor's getting you 4 to 6%. And guess what? You're not even beating inflation. And here's what's about to happen. Tomorrow, if Jerome Powell says he's going to lower interest rates, your cash you're storing, your dollar is going to be worth less. They're about to print more money than you've ever seen in history. But here's the good news and the silver lining in all of this. There's a systematic change in your financial system. And imagine owning the picks and shovels. Now, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just going to tell you what I do. I built a system. There's no emotion in this. I don't care if the markets go up. I don't care if they go down. I'm long-term. I invest in companies. I invest in infrastructure. I invest in systems that I know will be here over the next 30 to 40 to 100 years. I use Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger style investing. And Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, they don't care about the bull market. They're bullish about the bear market. They said it the best. The old financial models, the schooling systems and all that stuff, they don't use that stuff. They look at companies. Does a company make over $100 million? Is it sustainable? Is it going to be here? Is it going to be here? Is it going to last the bull and bear markets? And Warren Buffett said, if the stock market shuts down, I don't care. He's like, I'm invested in companies. What they work to do is create cash flow. That's the key. But here's the thing about the cryptocurrency industry is everybody's trying to chase hype. They're chasing dates. They're pricing price predictions. And that's completely outside of the model of getting wealthy. Billionaires are not chasing markets. Your emotions are their profits. They have systems. They have processes. They have structure. They feed the system. They feed the process. They feed the structure. And they know that everything goes in a cycle. And they take the emotion out of it. A $20 bill does not give a shit about you. It has zero emotion. It doesn't care about you. And if it was sitting right in front of us right now, think about this. If a $20 bill was sitting right in front of us, I heard this amazing video. I think it was on Instagram. This gentleman was talking about this. If a $20 bill was sitting right in front of us, does it have emotion? No. Does it care about you? No. So if two people are sitting there and one person picks up the $20 bill and puts it in the stock market or puts it into a dividend stock or puts it into XRP or Bitcoin, they're giving it energy. The other person might pick it up and go buy junk food with it or go to a strip club with it. The $20 doesn't care where it's going. We believe it's $20. You give it the energy. And here's a simple math. Money compounds every 7 years at 10%. It's the eighth wonder of the world. It's just math. There's no motion to this. Okay. So if you know inflation is 2% every single year and the US dollars collapse 96 to 97%, your job is to beat inflation. But here's the thing. It's not 2%, guys. It's much larger than 2%. So to give you some other math, your value of your dollar, you lost about 19% purchasing power since 2020 to 2024. And as you lost 19% purchasing power, we gained 800% on our XRP and 200% on our Bitcoin, crushing the math of money compounds every 7 years at 10%. So there's these moments in times where there's new asset classes that come in where you can beat the math, but it won't always be that way. What goes up must come down, and everything always comes back to homeostasis. So eventually, when these markets come into full adoption, they'll go back into the normal volatility of money compounds every 7 years at 10%, and then there'll be another boom and bust cycle. So know that it's just a wave of energy. The bull market is where you take profits. The bear market, which is coming in 2026, I don't believe these people that say we're going to go into this parabolic cycle and just keep going straight up. That's not how markets work. You will go into a bear market in 2026. There's going to be one more catalyst. I will predict this. There'll be one more catalyst, another black swan. Problem, reaction, solution. This is why I'm saying this is the most important video I've ever done. They need, I think, one more big problem to make sure they bring cryptocurrency underneath the traditional banking system. Remember, problem, whoever creates a problem creates a reaction in the people, comes up with the solution. Okay. Now you got regulation coming in, traditional finance coming into digital currency. Digital currency platforms like Coinbase, Ripple, Kraken are going to become traditional banks. We need one more big catalyst, and that could be a big bear market. Oh, see, people lost tons of money. We're not going to lose money. We're pulling profits. And I'm going to celebrate when the bear market hits, just like I did in 2022, 2023, 2024, Warren Buffett style investing. So on this channel, this is not the get rich quick. It's not meme coins. There's no hype here. This is strategy. This is systems. This is discipline. This is consistency. So if you're still here, let's dive right in. I'm going to share with you some of the bullish news that still continues to come out and keeps us calm and keeps us focused. Okay, so this is Christine Lagarde, and I'll read this to you, and then we're going to listen to her. So now what's happening is Trump is putting massive pressure. We saw what Russia said. Russia's like, oh, shit. Like, Trump has the fastest growing stablecoin in the world. Okay. Bo Hines stepped down to bring Tether into America. Cantor is the custodian for the U.S. Tether. Guys, it's all connected, man. Take the emotion out of it. Now, Christine Lagarde is sitting here saying, oh, we need to hurry up and get a digital euro.
1 year on from the release of Mario Draghi's report on the future of European competitiveness, it remains essential to follow up on its recommendations with further concrete action and to accelerate implementation in line with the European Commission's roadmap. Governments should prioritize growth-enhancing structural reforms and strategic investment while ensuring sustainable public finance. It is critical to complete the Savings and Investment Union and the Banking Union to an ambitious timetable and to rapidly establish the legislative framework for the potential introduction of our digital euro.
Rapid. Stablecoin Act. Genius Act, Clarity Act, rapid. It is going to come fast and it's going to come furious. Now, we have a big week ahead, okay? Tomorrow, Wednesday, the Fed's rate decision, Powell's press conference, FOMC projections, okay? Do you guys think, comment down below, do you think he's going to lower rates? I'm like 50-50, man. If he doesn't, you better get prepared, man. The markets are going to go freaking, people are going to panic, okay? I don't know, man. I don't know. He would be a fool not to, but who knows? Who knows? So I would love to hear your comments down below if you think he's going to lower rates tomorrow. I think 50-50 that he does 0.25%. We'll see. Thursday is Bank of England's rate decision. Friday is Bank of Japan's rate decision. If everybody reduces rates, bullish. Okay, remember, no emotion. Rates go down, fiat is worth less. Assets go up. It's that simple, guys. Take the emotion out of this. Okay, just in, financial giant PayPal to integrate Bitcoin and crypto into their new peer-to-peer payment flow. These people that continue to talk about Bitcoin's going to zero, it's like, just ignore the noise, guys. Ignore it. This is the future. Bitcoin's a new gold. XRP is a new bridge currency. Take the emotion out of this, guys. Don't be tribal. Okay, here's another announcement around that. Chainlink, we're excited to announce that the first EU regulated on-chain exchange for tokenized securities, 21X, has adopted the Chainlink data standard. Live in production and powered by Chainlink runtime environment, Chainlink enables verifiable post-trade data, including last trade price, bid ask offers and securities listed on the 21X platform to be accessed directly. Guys, the whole system is being rewired. Don't get fudded out, guys. It's all right here. Governments, institutions, companies on the S&P are building Bitcoin treasuries. Guys, we had a treasury meeting for our company, and it's like, remember when I said money compounds every 7 years at 10%? We had our treasury meeting. So we started at a company level. So we take 20%, we run a 20% profit margin. Okay. Then we have multiple companies, but for one of our main ecosystems, we run 20% profit margin on 3 of our profitable companies. And then a couple of them are still building into profit. So we take 20% of the 20% and we built a treasury. Now, what's the name for it? So my CFO said, clarify this. Treasury means like the overall cash, assets, dividends. Like, so my personal strategy, we modeled at a company level. Okay. So we have my personal investment strategy. We modeled at a company level. So we have a Bitcoin strategy. We have Solana, Bitcoin, XRP. I encourage them to start getting into. Yes, we did. I did. Yeah, we did. World Liberty Financial. So, so those will be the 4 assets we hold, and I'm trying to think of I'm mixing my portfolio and the company's portfolio. Anyway, so we have a Bitcoin treasury. So we have our Bitcoin. We also have a dividend strategy that we get cash flow off of, and we de-risk just like I do personally. And then we have our cash, right? So we have cash. So that's what a treasury is. It's how much cash do we have? How much XRP do we have? How much Bitcoin do we have? My point behind that is a lot of companies on the S&P now are creating a Bitcoin treasury because remember I told you money compounds every 7 years at 10%. But we have high inflation, right? So if money compounds every 7 years at 10% and you're not beating inflation with your investment, you're actually treading water. Okay. So you just see you look at your portfolio like, oh, I grew at 4% this year. Well, did you? Right? Because if you exited out into cash and you have to retire, but you lost 19% purchasing power, you really didn't grow 4%. You didn't even beat the hurdle rate. Right. So I like to use things personally. That's why I share my personal strategy like Bitcoin and XRP. My Bitcoin grew 800% since 2020 as everybody made fun of me. My Bitcoin grew 200%. Bitcoin grows an average of 50% every year. So if inflation is truly about 10%, say it's 10%, with hidden inflation, say it is 10%, right? If I grew my Bitcoin by 50%, that means I beat the hurdle rate by 40%. So I'm transmuting my cash, which is inflationary, into deflationary assets that beat the hurdle rate. It's just simple math for me. I don't make it too complicated. It's just math. It's like beat the hurdle rate. So then when I'll just take you guys into this. There's other news that come out. This stuff is not that exciting, but let's get into it. Okay. So this is, I just want to get you into my brain. This is how I'm not the smartest cat in the world, to be honest with you. I have severe dyslexia. What I am good at is discipline and consistency and systems. That's why I'm so attracted to Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett's strategies and Ray Dalio, right? They're very simple. That's who I study, Ray Dalio, Kathy Woods. I don't believe in hype. I don't watch the price predictions. I don't watch any of that stuff. My brain works in disciplined, consistent patterns. So I created a system, okay? Cash flow into deflationary assets. When I profit from those deflationary assets, I stuff money into my cash value life insurance for protection and compounding, which is leverage. So I got my Bitcoin bank. We'll move it over here. Pop. So we pull from the deflationary assets, I pull Bitcoin into the leverage category. So now I have a Bitcoin bank and a family bank and my insurance. So I just keep filling those buckets, right? And what I do is I just work to beat inflation. It's just math. Okay. So if just say 2%. So if inflation is 2% every single year and you're not getting a raise that's over 2%, you're stuck, right? Your dollars, what you're getting paid in is someone else's debt, and the debt you're getting paid in is worth less, right? Okay. So they bring down inflation. Fantastic. But you're still just storing your money in cash, right? Well, they're going to lower interest rates, right? Okay. So you're going to be able to monetize more debt, but that makes you poor. You're borrowing against your future self. You're not increasing your cash flow. You should be taking your cash and you should be putting into assets that appreciate, right? And it's just math. It's like, okay, mathematics, there's no emotion in this. I'm not a maximalist in anything. It's like, well, I truly believe in XRP. I believe in Ripple. I believe in XRP, the technology. I call it a technology. So I believe in it. So nobody's going to FUD me in, FUD me out, market cap, no market cap. It doesn't matter. It's like, I believe in the technology of XRP because I understand banking. So I'm like, oh, I really understand this XRP mechanism. So I buy a lot of it. right? And it's also done very well for me. And then when people are like, well, it's only gone from $2.70 up to $3.40. In what markets can you grow your portfolio that much? It doesn't make any sense. And it's growing that much because it's new. It's a new asset class, right? The market's really thin. So that's our gift right now. Okay. Then Bitcoin. Bitcoin grows about 50% every single year. So I just logically looked at it. Bitcoin's like this over the past 10 years, the dollar's like this. Well, that's simple math, right? So if I believe, and I truly believe over at least the next 10 years, we're going to keep doing this. So over the next 10 years, if the dollar keeps going down and my Bitcoin keeps going up, it's just logic. It's like, okay, well, let's say Bitcoin collapses. Let's play devil's advocate because I hear this all the time. Well, Bitcoin's going to zero when they find out who. Okay, cool. Let's say 10 years from now, Bitcoin goes to zero. So here's where I'm differentiated. My money doesn't just sit there, and I'll explain. Okay. So I take my cash flow. Let me back up to 2020. So I want to repeat this over and over again because what I want you to get from this is a idiot with a system is going to do way better. Listen to what I'm saying. A genius with no plan or no system. Okay. I'm not the smartest cat in the world, but I have a system for my finances. I have a system for my spiritual walk. And I have a system for my physical walk. Okay. And I just follow it. Okay. So 2020 to 2022, I saw that my assets were growing so fast. I was like, this is not normal. Okay. I grew my portfolio from 2020 to 2022 in the bull market. I'm like, this is like I almost made more than I would make as an executive my whole career as an executive in my retirement. I'm like, this is unnatural, right? 30 became, you guys know how it went to six figures and then boom, boom. But what I was like, so that's when we created our Merlin. That's when we created our exit strategies, right? We're like, okay, because everybody's like, hold, hold, hold. I was exiting on the way up. I'm like, profit. Now I'm exiting into this cash, which is trash. I'm like, this is trash. So what am I going to do with this? So I first started my first life insurance policy. Okay, you don't have to do it, but this is how I did it. I started my first life insurance policy. I'm like, okay, cool. So now I'm not in a vertical strategy. I moved into life insurance. I'm like, okay, awesome. Then I also started scaling my businesses. I had one business. I'm like, well, let me create other businesses. We created Merlin. I have businesses in information technology, attention, financial services, and education. Okay, so I scaled businesses because I heard you got to have cash flow and you got to have 7 strings of income. I don't know about that. I think now with wisdom, you got to be hyper focused, but I got into a lot of different businesses. I mostly startups. We built them from the ground up. So it took a lot of energy. It took a lot of work, a lot of dedication, but we built them. So as the markets collapsed down, I had pulled profits, put it into insurance. I built cash generating businesses. So now cash flow is coming in. But what I didn't do is I didn't increase my lifestyle. What I did is I took my earned income and I transmuted it back into the deflationary assets. This is where I built the ecosystem. I took the cash flow and I put it in the deflationary assets that everybody was running from crypto. So I was buying at very low prices, Warren Buffett style, very low prices, very low prices, very low prices. Then I still had my little insurance bucket over here. Okay. So then we go 2022, 2023, 2024. Okay. So you may be just starting out this cycle. And then Trump gets elected. Boom. The second category, we got cash flow, we got deflationary, skyrocketed. So I hit my first target XRP. I pulled it off. So where do we take that? Into insurance. Okay, that's the first category. So now it went up and then it came back down. So then the market leveled out. So I haven't hit my exit targets. So now we're going into October, November, December. I believe it's going to go parabolic. So now I have this huge parabolic move in our assets right here. Okay, I'm going to pull profits. Remember, Bitcoin's off to the side. If you follow my stuff, it's in the leverage category. We're not touching that. That's a bank. Okay, we'll just move Bitcoin off to the side. All other cryptos, I'm exiting 50%. I think it's foolish to just, everybody's in different cycles though. Like if it's your first bull market, just hold until 2030, just accumulate. I'll be in heavy profit, right? So I'm damn well going to pull profit. What's the first step? I'm going to stuff it into my cash value life insurance. Okay, now let me explain. Because if money compounds every 7 years at 10% and we run a 2% inflation rate, all I have to do is beat these hurdle rates, richest man in Babylon. So then what I do is when the bear market hits in 2026, which there will be a bear market, don't let people lie to you. There will be a bear market. This will come down. Markets go up, markets go down, bear and bull. It will always exist. It's going to come down. I don't know if it's going to be 30%, 80%. I hope it's 80%. I know people don't want to hear that. I hope it collapses because I believe in the assets that I hold. If it collapses down 30, 40, 50, 60, 80%, what do I do? Now, check this out. I have an insurance bank over here. I've been buying a shitload of cash flow. And now I get to buy at very low prices with leverage. So then hurdle rate, remember money compounds every 7 years at 10%, 2% inflation. I borrow at 5 from my cash value. I borrow from the insurance company at 5% per year. Okay. 5% per year. So imagine I take a loan and I buy the dip. Very low risk because this comes off the death benefit. I don't pay it back. Okay. So now I hold and I accumulate 2026, 2027, we go back into the bull market. It appreciates. I crushed inflation. Okay. Appreciates. Boom. I pay off the loan. Boop. Leverage again. Bitcoin. I leverage to buy my insurance firm at 14%. Bitcoin grows 50% every year. I made 36%. It's just hurdle rates, guys. It's just math. There's only debt and there's only assets. It's just math. Okay. We're actually going to pay off. I thought it was going to be April. We actually are about to pay it off next month. So now that leverage will be back again. So what am I going to do? And I only borrow 25% of my overall Bitcoin. Okay. It's very important to do low leverage on digital assets because they're like this. Okay. So you can get liquidated. So when that 25%, that'll be back next month. What's not going to take till April. We're already going to pay it off. Okay. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to borrow again. I'm going to buy more assets. I'm going to buy more cash generating assets. And I'm going to let it pay it off. So my point is, if Bitcoin collapses next 10 years, along the way, I bought an insurance firm that's already a 7-figure insurance company, right? That's going to be a multi-million dollar company. I own my own firm, right? I'm going to buy other companies along the way or continue to scale my companies. I have multiple companies in profit, 2 are in 7 figures. One's going to head to 8 figures, right? I'm going to buy more cash generating dividends. So if Bitcoin collapses along the way, I bought a shitload of cash flow and I'm stuffing it into insurance. So if the markets come collapsing down and you're in a vertical strategy where it's a 401k or just cryptocurrency, you're at the mercy of the market. You're at the mercy of the elites. I'm building a system where I'm not at the mercy of anybody. I'm at the mercy of my own decisions, actions, and behaviors and ability to beat the math. That's it. Take the emotion out of this, guys. $20 doesn't give a flying shit about you. It doesn't care about your family. It doesn't care if you can eat. It doesn't care. The markets don't care about you. That's the unfortunate thing. You're giving way too much energy to this money. Okay. You're giving way too much power to the elites. The money doesn't care about you. It's just math. And when you learn the math and you realize you were indoctrinated at a very deep level to be enslaved to this monetary system, you'll wake up to the mathematics and you'll think of money completely different. You will stop wasting money on bullshit. You will stop buying cars you can't afford to impress people you don't like. You will think about every dollar completely different. Every time I get paid, it works for me. I don't work for money anymore. That's it, guys. Take the complexity out of this. Take the emotion out of it. XRP going to $1,000 isn't going to change your life. It's only going to exasperate who you currently are. So if you're not disciplined and consistent and you get a big hit in crypto, you will only repeat what you currently are. So I hope this information reaches your heart well. Take the emotion out of it. Get back to God. Honor God in everything you do. Get back to family. Touch some grass. Teach your family what you're learning. Be open, be vulnerable. Say we're learning together. And then protect your ecosystem at all costs and stay out of other men's business. You're too busy working on yours. As I go deeper and deeper, I'm realizing there's a lot of geniuses with no plan. I don't want to be an idiot, but I'll tell you what, an idiot with a plan is much better than a genius with no plan. I love you guys. Warriors, let's get your shit together. Love you. God bless you.